So, Daniel Kaluuya. I was sent this article, and I'm going to deal with it on my way up to Wilmington. Got a little going from there to Washington, North Carolina. I said, let me deal with Daniel's ass. After I read through this article, I was disgusted. This is the type of shit that you have a lot of black people who are rich, successful, and famous. This is their overall living their best life narrative. I'm going to read through this article. We have Daniel Kaluuya, who many of us were introduced to here in America. We were introduced to him via the film Get Out. This is written and directed by Jordan Peele, a movie about American racism, spun into almost like a horror type of movie. Many people watched this movie. Many people had their opinions about this movie. Even in the so-called woke conscious community, many people reviewed the movie and stuff like that, right? Then he went on to play in the Black Panther, another movie that was broken down and widely reviewed. I think he may have won an award, or Black Panther won some awards as well. And he just played in also Queen and Slim, which I still haven't seen myself. I wasn't interested based on the director, and when I was watching some of the reading some synopsis of the movie, it just made me not really be interested in the movie. So I haven't seen it. But he is been pegged to play Fred Hampton. People. The chairman, Black Panther Party, the greatest black organization of modern day times to date. The Black Panther Party. Fred Hampton, assassinated by the Chicago police, sanctioned by the American government. 3Ks, don't get this shit fucked up, Incorporated. Daniel Kaluuya is set to play him. Now, he says here that he's bored of talking about race. Wham, wham, wham. I'm not defined by it. I'm going to go through here and read some of this article. Daniel Kaluuya has said that he is bored of talking about race and racial issues. Speaking to the Radio Times, the British actor explained that he does not want to be defined by his race or how it relates to his work. Quote from him here says, "I'm not going to ignore that I'm surrounded by race issues, but I'm not defined by it," the 30-year-old said. "I'm just Daniel, who happens to be black." Ain't that something? Now, a lot of people will view this, well, he's a black Brit, man. They crazy like that over there. No, y'all. This living my best life, I just want to live and be free, black, and all this shit, and be successful and just live my life. That's not something that just people from other countries say. It's just not. So therefore, I cannot hang this on the UK and black people from there. I can't just hang this on them. Now, these motherfuckers are, they coming out their mouth. They're getting a lot of these roles that should be played by black Americans, in my personal opinion. But, or I think in the words of Samuel L. Jackson, I should call him out for Get Out, when he was like, look, y'all got these Brits playing these black folk. Wouldn't it be impressive to see a black American play these roles that know more about the black American experience? Which I would argue with Sam Jack and anybody who says this. Black people are cooning all over the motherfucking world. It don't matter where you get black folk from. I don't give a damn if you get them from Texas or Ghana. There's coons going on all over the motherfucking place. And there are black people who want to disconnect themselves from race because they see it as something negative. I'll go on here. Kaluuya, who rose to fame after starring roles in award-winning films such as Get Out and Black Panther, went on to say he doesn't want to be pushed to become a spokesperson for black actors. He doesn't want that responsibility. He says here, what is there to talk about race? He told the publication, it's just boring to me. What's the debate? I'm more of a doer. I'm just going to do what I want to do, which is basically ignore race. Play roles where it makes it seem like you know something about race, but then in real life, ignore it completely. Now, we've seen these black British people come out of their motherfucking mouths and say, these ridiculous things as far as race is concerned and disrespect our ancestors as far as race is concerned. We just saw it with Harriet. I think it was the Erivo character who disrespects black people, who disrespects American black people, because these British people aren't connected to the form of slavery and the form of racism that has been waged here in America. Now, Kaluuya goes on here to say, Kaluuya added that he doesn't want to become the race guy before pointing on his previous film and TV roles that had nothing to do with race or racial tension. The Fades ain't about race. Psychoville ain't about race. Skins ain't about race. Chat Room ain't about race. Johnny English Reborn isn't about race. But that almost gets erased. That's a narrative that is pushed, he added. Now, these are films that he played in back over in the UK when, you know, he has actually said that he came over to this country because he felt that he was being held back in the UK. Ain't that something? So as you speak on the overt and covert racism over in the UK, which it does exist, you can speak to some of the black people over in the UK, they know this shit exists. It's happening. Ask Meghan Markle's motherfucking ass, who thought because she could just say, I ain't black, I'm just out here, she thought she was going to escape it. She couldn't. She didn't. And now she's trying to get the fuck up out of there. Now he came over here because all these shows, us Americans ain't never heard of this shit, motherfucker. We didn't know you until Get Out. A very racially charged movie. So he wants to play in these roles, get famous for these roles, but when it comes to reality, he don't want to be a part of this shit. You see? These type of motherfucking coons exist. It says here, it's a subject Kaluuya has addressed previously in a 2018 interview with The Guardian. The actor explained that he finds it irritating how, as a successful black actor, he is expected to represent his entire race. That's inconvenient for black folk. I think Tiffany Haddish just alluded to that on a Breakfast Club interview. She don't want to represent the whole race. She just want to represent herself. He says, I'm not a spokesperson, I'm an individual, he said. Who is a spokesperson for white people? There isn't one. No one's expected to speak up for all white people. I'm just living my life. I'm a black man. I'm proud of it, but I'm just living my life. Kaluuya went on to say he doesn't see himself as a victim. You may victimize me, but you will not make me feel like a victim, he said. And if you think you can, then what sort of person are you? Basically, through all this article, all I could read was I'm a coon. I'm a coon. I want to live my best life. I'm a coon. This is something that many black people share in this sentiment. They just want to be successful. They want to live their best life. They don't want it to be about race. But then look at the movies this motherfucker done played in. He's about to play Fred Hampton. How the fuck don't you want to talk about race? You're bored to talk about race. You don't want to represent all black people. Look at the motherfucking roles you're taking. Reject the roles then, bitch. You bitch ass motherfucker. If you don't want the heat, then reject the roles. If you don't want to educate yourself on the roles that you're playing, on the even the perception of the roles that you're playing, if you don't want to educate yourself on that, if you don't want to be a spokesman for black people, which Fred Hampton was, then bitch nigga, don't take the role. I get tired of these motherfuckers, man. Out here just cooning it up, man, all in front of white folk. No, I don't want to be a spokesperson for black people. Then why are you playing Fred Hampton, you bitch motherfucker? And these white folk don't have the presence of mind to ask these types of questions. But he should be asked that type of question if he goes on a Breakfast Club run or any shit like that. You black publications or these people that's going to be interviewing this motherfucker, y'all need to be asking him these questions aggressively too. This bitch motherfucker they can come over from the UK, get no recognition over there, came over here because he wasn't getting the opportunities he wanted as a black actor in the UK, and all of a sudden he don't see no race, he don't want to be defined by race. You're a black actor. This is the earth you were born into, where race is an issue. Cry me a motherfucking river. You can reject the roles that you're playing if you don't want to talk about race. Of course, you're going to be asked about race, especially if you're playing Fred Hampton. I mean, come on. A government sent out to assassinate him? Still out here assassinating black people right now? You don't want to talk about race? And any of these motherfucking coons that decide they don't want to talk about race, to hell with all of them. To hell with these motherfuckers. They shouldn't be given these roles. If you don't want to deal with race, you don't want to educate yourself about racism here in America, then reject the roles, man. That's all you got to do. Save you from going through this type of scrutiny. Save you from being answered or asked questions about race that people are going to be looking for an answer from you about. Motherfucker, if you can't take the heat, get the fuck out of the kitchen. You want to live your best life and just, exist out here, then stop taking these roles. All of his roles that he's known for here have been racially charged. Or have racial undertones to them. And this bitch motherfucker bored with talking about race. How? It didn't go anywhere. That's weird when people say that. Like, it didn't disappear. It's not like you're talking about something that stopped happening 300 years ago and we're still talking about it. No, this is real life. Fred Hampton was assassinated in the 60s. We're not too far removed from that right now. They still coming out here and the government is labeling people as black identity extremists. This is still happening. They're still trying to censor the black voice. It's still happening. How the fuck can you be bored with talking about what's still happening? You bitch motherfucker. And any of you bitch motherfuckers who think like him. But that's all the fuck I wanted to say, man. These motherfuckers just the spotlight is given to the wrong motherfuckers, man. And I can't just rail in on the British motherfuckers because I've been dealing with coons since I've been paying attention. I've been dealing with coons of all kinds from everywhere. This mentality has infected us all over the world. It's a goddamn epidemic. Especially if you give a motherfucking black person a little bit of money. Oh my God, they detach themselves completely. I don't respect that shit at all. But y'all comment and let me know what the fuck y'all think. If y'all think I'm tripping, if y'all feel like it's righteous for him to sit around and play in these roles and don't want to talk about race and don't want to be a representative of black people, talking about white folk don't have no representative, that's because they have an entire system working for them. That's what they got going on for them. And a whole system in place. They don't have to really have a spokesperson. They have a system. A person who is black, who would be a spokesperson, is speaking against that system. You stupid motherfucker. But y'all like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Links to follow me on social media in the description box. To make donations via Patreon, those links are in the description box. Order a t-shirt from my brother. I have 2 links in the description box to order a t-shirt from me. That's all the fuck I want to say. Shout out Team Rob. Y'all already know what the fuck it is. I'm out.